Hey guys, I'm about to utilize some of what I've been planning here. This is highly cool if you're into gardening. I designed this stand for this Jora composter so that I could actually come out here easily right from the deck to dump our little compost container in the fridge. And then we dumped that in there, and then I threw other things like twigs and yard waste and whatnot in there. And now that stuff's going on my blueberries. Good times. Yeah, it's got two sides to it, so one side's still cooking, that's only about a third full, and this side is now ready. So it is time to dump it. Oh, this is easier with two hands. Yarg! There we go. Okay, and let her rip. Woohoo! Compost. And the price is sure right. Cool. Now it's empty and ready to be dumped. Got a lot of earthworm activity in there. This thing kind of freezes over the coldest part of the winter, but then the earthworm eggs hatch out and they start going crazy again. So, yeah, good times. Now I need two hands to get this wheelbarrow out, so shutting off the camera. Well, not the best compost in the world, but it's free. Looks like some pieces of vegetables are actually sprouting a little bit. So the heat of this compost, the composting process, must have been done. Now, if you have a real compost pile, none of this stuff will survive because will have been too hot for too long. Looks like some kind of bean sprout or something. Yeah, those things shouldn't be able to do that. So this thing didn't get quite hot enough. But it looks like it's broken down pretty good. Alrighty. Yeah, there's enough. That's a good dosage of compost for each blueberry bush. I mistakenly, silly me, I put some of the chips from that giant cedar tree that was hanging over the house when I moved in. I put them right here. And blueberries can handle acidic pine style chips, and they can they can handle acidic soil, so they grow well with pine trees. But basically, cedar is not quite pine. It's a good deal worse than pine. And even these blueberry bushes were struggling the last 2 years. So time to shovel the cedar out of the way, spread the compost. Now I'll put different chips on top of the compost. So, okay, well, lesson learned. Yep, every once in a while you get lucky. This is a Saturday for me, Monday for everybody else, but and it's actually warm enough and it's nice and sunny enough to actually do a little yard work. I love that. Last year, a lot of those apples that fell from these trees I ended up wasting because I just did not have the time and to process them right. So I threw a lot of them in here and I buried them in other types of organic matter like wood chips, and I'm kind of curious see if they broke down very well over the winter. And it looks like they have. I see some apple skins, I think. A lot of worm activity. Oh, heck yeah. There's some, but these are like on the surface. when it's down in there deeper and warmer. No, it's pretty cool. Not much activity going on in there. Okay, I think it's ready enough to use as a mulch over those blueberries. Yeah, good times. Nope, I'm wrong. This stuff is too dry and it hasn't allowed the apples to break down well enough. So I'm going to leave the lid off of this thing for the next rain and let it soak up. Then throw the lid back on it and let it break down till spring. Okay, I guess I'll use those wood chips. That'll work. Okay, that ought to be enough. You can see how much surplus imagination I have by these doohigamajigs. You see, when you're really a lazy guy, you can actually come up with labor-saving things like that. Well, okay, time to shovel it onto the blueberries. Alright, layer of compost and some non-toxic chips over the top of that to keep evaporation down, and it's up to Father Nature to see if I've killed these blueberries or not. Okay, alrighty. Done deal.